Hi everyone, it's Heather Johnson, and today I am going to show you how to use the calendar brush that has popped up in my layouts a few times so far this year. What you see here on your screen is page 2 of last week's layout. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge it so we can see a little better. I chose to put the brush within the journaling spot on the Design A template. So once that's selected and I've recolored it to match my kit, I select the brush on the toolbar and I make sure I activate the brush that I want to use, and in this case it's the January calendar. The next thing I do is take a peek down here at the bottom left, and as you can see my cursor is now the January calendar, but if you look at the bottom left, I'll actually do that, it's distracting. It's the off-white color, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it that color. If you wanted to change it, you would just use your eyedropper tool and sample a new color. But like I said, I'm going to leave it that off-white. You come back over and the very first thing you want to do, and this is very important, is create a new layer so that the brush is on its own layer. And the reason you do this is so that you can move the brush and change the size of it later on. So in my layers window, I have a little square. When I hover over it, it says create a new layer. It's got the flipped up corner. You do that, and then all of a sudden there's a nice new layer to put your brush on. I'm going to put calendar, or I'm going to label it. So after that's done, kind of hover nearby and you push your button and there you go. I hit Command or Control T so that I can change the size, and what I try to do is get a good approximation of it, and we can tweak it later on, but this is sort of where I want to put it. So hit Return to commit the change, and you have here a brush that sort of is the size of where you want it, but not really. If you look up here, it's sort of bleeding over. And so to create sort of that nice finished edge, what you want to do is create a clipping mask. So you'll go up to Layer, Create Clipping Mask, and all of a sudden the brush adheres to the sides. And then you can move it around, like I'll go push it up a little bit and off to the side so that I get a little bit of white space, and it creates what looks like a January card instead of just a brush. Now, the one thing I failed to point out is if your version, I'm using CS5, and if your version of Photoshop or Photoshop Elements doesn't have this Create a New Layer button, if you come up to Layer and do New Layer, you're going to get the same thing. The important thing to do is to always make sure that you're just above whatever spot you're putting it on. So when I take that away, you can see that that's the correct square, and so I want to make sure my brush is on top of that. This particular brush set also comes with really cute little markers for the date, and I have all of this in the blog post for you. So I will select one of those, a little heart outline, and I create a new layer for that as well. And you just stamp the appropriate days. And that's really it. These steps would apply if you were doing this on the title card or somewhere else. I've just sort of been liking it in this little tiny spot. So thanks for the suggestion, and if there's anything else that I can help you with, just let me know, and have a great day.